Hello friends, welcome to yet another tutorial on Spring Boot Developers Roadmap at Simplilearn. Do you know friends that Spring Boot engineers working in United States typically earn around $135,200 per year? In this roadmap tutorial, we will guide you through a comprehensive step-by-step journey to mastering a Spring Boot. So whether you are a beginner looking to dive into the world of Spring Boot or an experienced developer aiming to refine your skills, this roadmap will provide you with a structured path becoming a proficient Spring Boot developer.
Craving a career upgrade? Subscribe, like, and comment below. Dive into the link in the description to fast-track your ambitions. Whether you're making a switch or aiming higher, Simplilearn has your back.
But before we move on, just a quick info guys. Simplilearn has got Java full stack course in collaboration with IBM. You can accelerate your career and develop essential skills such as React, Spring Boot, Hibernate, JSPs, and also mastering MVC and web services to craft highly scalable web application. So with that said guys, let us start. So guys, let us start with understanding first what is Spring Boot. So guys, Spring Boot is an open source Java-based framework which is used to create standalone, production-grade, Spring-based applications with minimal effort. It is a part of a larger Spring framework ecosystem which provides a streamlined approach to building application by reducing the amount of boilerplate code and also configuration needed. Now, let us discuss some of the key features of Spring Boot. The first one that comes to my mind is called auto configuration. So guys, Spring Boot automatically configures your application based on the dependencies you have added to the project. This means you don't have to manually configure settings for the majority of the common use cases. Second one, we have the standalone applications. Spring Boot applications can run independently without requiring an external web server. It includes embedded servers like Tomcat, Jetty, or Undertow, which allows you to run your application as a simple Java application. The third one that we have all over here is called Spring Boot Starters. Starters are a set of convenient dependency descriptors you can include in your application. They can simplify Maven or Gradle configuration by providing a single dependency for common use case. Example, we have Spring Boot Starter Web for web applications. Next we get is the production-ready features. Spring Boot includes several features to help you build production-ready applications. This includes health checks, metrics, and application monitoring through Spring Boot actuators. Now, fifth one, we have the microservices. If I talk about microservices, guys, then Spring Boot is particularly well suited for microservices architecture. It integrates well with Spring Cloud, providing tools for service discovery, configuration management, and resilience. And finally, we have the command line features. Spring Boot CLI is a command line tool that can be used to quickly prototype with Spring. It allows you to run groovy scripts to perform Spring Boot operations. So guys, these were some of the features of the Spring Boot. Now, let me show you a snippet like how exactly Spring Boot works. So I'll be using an Eclipse IDE to demonstrate the same. So guys, as you can see all over here, this is a basic Spring application. So I'm using Spring Boot for the same. And you can see the folder structure all over here that we have the REST folder. This is our project folder. Inside which we have the main folder, and here you can see there's a REST folder. This is our package. Two classes we have created. This is a main class. So here you can see I have annotated with Spring Boot application, which is telling the Spring that, hey Spring, this is a main class or an application class, okay, with the main function all over here, okay. Next one, we created a controller all over here. So you can see the controller. So if I'm going to the local host saying 8080, with the given URL, then I'm going to see the hello world all over here. So this is a basic controller, and for the same I'm using the annotation REST controller, which is telling Spring that, hey Spring, this is a controllers class. Okay, so this is how basically our framework understands like what is there with the help of annotations. So it is a basic thing, and here when you run this, your Spring application will start, and here you are going to see a Spring annotation something like this. So you can see the version we are using is v3 1.10. So let us go to the localhost 8080 and see what is the output. So guys, as you can see all over here, we are directed to the localhost 8080 and the URL is /hello, okay, which we have mentioned in our REST controller, and it is printing hello world. So this is how basically a Spring application works. Now let us move on and try to understand what is the exact roadmap that we have to follow in order to master the Spring Boot. So guys, as you can see in this image, the first step is the prerequisite, which I would say. So learn Java before diving into Spring Boot. It is very essential to have a strong foundation in Java and make sure you understand Java's core concepts such as object-oriented programming, data structures, and algorithms. Familiarize yourself with Java syntax, libraries, and framework. Once you are comfortable with Java basics and advanced topics like concurrency, streams, and lambda expressions, you can move on to the next step, that is Spring Core. In the Spring Core is a foundation for the Spring framework. It provides the essential features needed for dependency injection and aspect-oriented programming. Configuration start by learning how to set up and configure Spring applications using XML and Java-based configuration. Understand the use of annotations such as configuration @bean annotations for defining beans and their dependencies. Learn about the principle called dependency injection. Study how Spring manages object dependencies using dependency injection. Explore different types of dependency injections such as constructor-based, setter-based, and field-based. Learn the IOC principle, which transfers the control of object creation and the management to the Spring container. Understand the role of application context and bean factory. Spring aspect-oriented programming is very important, so try to understand its AOP concepts and how they separate cross-cutting concerns like login, transaction management, security. Also implement aspect-oriented programming using Spring's @AspectJ annotation. Then explore the MVC architecture and also how Spring implements it. Learn to create controllers using @controller annotation, also like request mapping annotation. Define models, render views using JSP or Thymeleaf. Also, if we talk about annotations, guys, get familiar with the annotations. So it is mentioned at this section all over here. So learn about important annotations such as @component, @service, @repository, @autowired, and many more. These annotations are going to simplify the configuration and development process. The next is we have the Spring Bean scope. Learn about different bean scopes like singleton, prototype, request, session, global session, etc. Understand the use of cases and lifecycle of each scope. After mastering Spring Core, you are ready to proceed for the next step, that is Spring Security. If we talk about Spring Security, guys, in this you have to learn a comprehensive security services for Java application, including authentication, authorization, and protection against common attacks. Authentication study about various authentication mechanisms such as form-based, HTTP basic, and LDAP authentication. Implement authentication using Spring Security such as @enable web security annotation and configure @web security configurer adapter. Authorization, learn about also managing user roles and permissions. Implement method level security using pre-authorized and secured annotations. Secure web requests with URL patterns and rules. If we talk about OAuth 2, also understand the OAuth 2 for securing APIs and implementing the OAuth 2 authorization server and resource server using Spring Security OAuth 2. Also learn about handling token generation, validation, and scopes. Learn about JWT authentication. Explore about JSON Web Tokens for stateless authentication. You can also implement JWT in a Spring Boot application to secure the RESTful APIs. Once you are comfortable with the Spring Security, you can advance to the next step. That is Spring Boot Introduction. Now, Spring Boot is going to simplify the development of production-ready applications by providing an opinionated framework. So get an overview of Spring Boot and its advantages. Understand its role in simplifying application setup and development. Okay, familiarize yourself with the key terms like starters, auto configuration, actuators, and many more. Learn how these components streamline the development process. Also understand the architecture, of the Spring Boot applications. Learn about the main application class, which is annotated with the @Spring Boot application, which I have shown you before. Also learn about how you can structure your project. Study why you have to choose Spring. the benefits of using Spring, including the dependency injection, ease of testing, and it's a rich ecosystem. In the next step, learn about the Spring Boot starters, which are pre-configured set of dependencies for various functionalities. Use starters like Spring Boot Starter Web for web applications and Spring Boot Starter Data JPA for JPA applications. After understanding starters, move on to the next step, that is auto configurations. Explore Spring Boot's auto configuration feature, which automatically configures your application based on dependencies in the class path. So you are going to learn about @conditional on class annotation, @conditional on missing being annotation, and many more like this. Once you are comfortable with auto configuration, proceed to the next step by understanding the actuators. Implement Spring Boot actuators to monitor and manage your application. Understand various endpoints provided for health checks, metrics, and environment info. Next on, move on understanding about the embedded server. Use embedded servers like Tomcat, Jetty, or Undertow bundled with Spring Boot. Configure and customize server settings in application.properties file or even in application.yml file. After mastering embedded servers, advance to the next step, that is Hibernate. Integrate Hibernate with Spring Boot for object relational mapping. Configure Hibernate, create entity classes, manage database operation, understand the caching mechanism with session management. With Hibernate knowledge in hand, proceed to the next step, that is Spring Cloud. So guys, Spring Cloud is going to provide tools for building distributed systems and microservices. Learn about Spring Cloud Gateway. Learn to use Spring Cloud for routing and filtering requests for microservices. Configure routes, apply filters, and manage configuration. Spring Cloud Config implements centralized configuration management using Spring Cloud Config. Store configurations in a Git repository and access them across multiple microservices. So guys, after understanding Spring Cloud Gateway, move on to Spring Cloud Config. Store configurations in a Git repository and access them across multiple microservices. Then move ahead on understanding this Spring Cloud Circuit Breaker. Use Circuit Breaker for fault tolerance in microservices. Implement circuit breaker patterns using Resilience 4J or Hystrix. Then move on to Spring Cloud OpenFine. Implement the declarative REST clients using OpenFine, create fine clients, config load balancing, and handle errors. Study about Hystrix, for latency and fault tolerance. Also, you can understand about Sleuth and Eureka for the same. So guys, Sleuth is going to implement distributed tracing, and also you can trace requests across microservices, generate trace IDs, and visualize traces using tools like Jepkin. If I talk about Eureka guys, you can use Eureka for service discovery and registration. Next one, let us move on to the next phase. Once you are comfortable with the Spring Cloud, move on the next step, that is learning microservices. Learn to develop and deploy microservices using Spring Boot. Understand microservices architecture and design patterns. So guys, after mastering microservices, move on to the next step, that is mastering Spring Data JPA. So if I talk about Spring Data JPA guys, you can implement JPA for database operations. After mastering this, you can also learn about Spring Data MongoDB and Spring Data JDBC. Moving ahead, after learning all these things, after applying the CRUD-based operation, learning all about the manipulation like configuring data sources, creating repositories, and executing SQL queries, move on to the next step. That is learning about Spring MVC, where you have to learn about servlet, JSP files, architectures, and its component. Moving ahead, after you have completed all these things, then move on to the testing part. So guys, testing is very crucial for ensuring the quality and reliability of your application. With the help of JPA, you can write tests for JPA repositories, set up an in-memory database for testing, creating test cases, and verify repository methods. So you have mock MVC test Spring MVC controllers. You can use it using mock MVC. You can set up mock MVC write unit test for controllers, and also you can verify request and response behavior. Then you can use the annotations such as Spring Boot test annotation for integration testing. You can load the application context, configure test properties, and write comprehensive test. Then you have @mockbean annotation. So generally, mock beans in test use @mockbean. replace real beans with mock implementations, and verify interactions in unit test. So in this way, I have laid out the entire roadmap for you to become a Spring Boot master. This was all for today's video, guys. I hope so you would have enjoyed our today's video on Spring Boot roadmap at Simplilearn. Till then, keep learning and stay updated.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.